Do you feel that you sometimes have a hard time getting into a new habit, following what you have to do on your day, and you feel like you're not as productive as you want it to be? Then this video is for you. Hello and welcome back to Messages of Love and Peace. My name is Carolina Duarte. I am a book author and inspirational speaker. And today's topic is about sticking to your habits and to your plan. To stick to your plan and to acquire new habits and stick to them, the key is decisions. What decisions are you making on a daily basis, constantly throughout your day? And think about if those decisions are supporting your dream life, supporting the projects you have in mind, supporting the new habits, or they're actually doing the exact opposite. Starting a new habit is not an easy task, depending on the habit. Sometimes it's super easy and we just fall right into the habit and it's just flows. But sometimes some habits are very hard to start. And sometimes bad habits are very hard to stop. But today I'm going to give you a few tips and ideas on how to follow your good habits, how to continue growing and following your plan and your projects. And it has to do with good decisions. The tips that I'm going to share today, I try to use them on a daily basis, and it has really made a huge difference in my life, in how I make decisions, in what I focus on daily life, and later on it has made an impact on my plans and on my new habits. And when I'm talking about making decisions, I'm thinking about these decisions that will really support and nourish your life and make you feel happier, make you feel more fulfilled, more satisfied with what you're doing on a daily basis and what you will come and become later on in your life. So there are 3 things that I suggest you think about before making a decision. All these tips are about being conscious about your decisions. It's to ask yourself a key question. Let me explain a little bit. Let's say you are about to make a decision and you're not sure what to do. And sometimes we make decisions so fast that we don't really think about it. But I want you to, every time you make a decision, try to stop, pause, and think about this question. Am I going to regret doing this or not? How would I feel if I do this or if I don't do it? For example, I usually ask this question to myself when I'm thinking about going to the gym or thinking about exercising. Years ago, for me, going exercising was so exciting, so much fun. I was ready. I was always excited to go out and exercise. But lately, I'm just getting lazier, or I don't know what's happening. But for me, is after the pandemic, I lost the habit of exercising, and it's getting harder and harder for me to get into the habit. So before I'm going to exercise and I'm kind of undecisive if I should go or not, I ask myself this question. What would I regret more? Going exercising or not going? And every time I ask myself that question, I usually choose the right answer. The answer that supports what my goals are, that supports my ultimate plan, that supports my good habits. So next time you're undecisive of doing something, think about, would I regret doing this or would I regret not doing this? Going back to the example of exercising, think about, Would I regret exercising or not? 99% of the times, I never regret exercising. So this strategy is a great way to remind you of what is it that you truly want. That if it's aligned with what you would enjoy, if it's aligned with something that it is part of your plan, that is part of your new habits, it's something part of the habits you're trying to stop. That sometimes happened to me with watching TV. Would I regret watching this movie? Would I regret binge watching a few episodes of this show? 99% of the times is yes. So what I try to do is ask that question every time I'm going to make a decision that I know it has to do with my habits, that it has to do with how I'm going to spend my time, that it has to do with being undecided between something that I know is going to support my plans or something that isn't going to support my plans. And that really helps me clarify what should I do and how I should spend my time. Tip number 2 is consult your decisions with God. And that's something that I usually do when I'm about to make a big decision. But honestly, it's also very useful with the little ones. I know it's so obvious sometimes to make decisions or to ask God about your decisions when it is bigger things. And that's what I typically do. But it's also very useful when you use them on a daily basis. And let me explain. I ask sometimes myself, would God be proud of me if I continue doing what I'm doing? And having that in mind usually guides me to make better decisions. And focusing what is truly valuable, what it really supports me bringing light to the world. And we just get caught up on what we should do, thinking about what society expects us to do, and we forget that we should only ask God and we should be guided by Him. When we ask ourselves if He will be proud of us or not, it's a great way to just get grounded and do the right thing. Would this be aligned with God's purpose? Would this be aligned with what He expects from me to do? And that is a great way for me to really make the right decisions, especially in moments that I feel that I could go the other way and not being the person I'm meant to be. The third tip that I suggest you ask yourself is this going to nourish me? How much is this activity or me spending my time this way or making this decision is going to nourish me, my life in general? And I'm talking about nourishing your soul, nourishing your heart, nourishing your body. I'm talking about everything. We are a whole being. We are body, mind, and spirit. So when you're about to make a decision, think about, is this going to nourish my life? How is this going to support me? Just like, for example, when I'm about to eat some chips that I love chips, I try to think this, how much is this bag of chips are going to support and nourish my body? Versus how much is this salad going to nourish my body? And when I put it that way, it helps me to make the right decisions. And I'm not saying I'm always perfect, and I'm not saying I always make the perfect decisions and I always eat super healthy, but I try to do that. I try to ask myself, how much is this going to nourish me? And it's not only, as I mentioned before, it's not only about food, but also having a conversation with someone that you're criticizing or judging people. How is this nourishing me? Is this supporting my soul, my heart, the way I feel? How is this nourishing me? When you're making decisions that have to do with your goals, that have to do with your projects, is this going to nourish my plan? Is this going to be something that is going to fuel my plan? Or is it something that just going to make it delay and is just a deviation for what I'm supposed to be doing to nourish my plans? Well, I hope these 3 tips help you today. First, ask yourself the question, would I regret doing this or not doing this? Second, would God be proud of me for what I'm doing right now, of what I'm about to do? And the third one, is this going to nourish my life, my body, my mind, my spirit? I hope these 3 tips, they're actually questions, will help you at the time of making a decision and guide you to make the right decision. You don't have to use all of them. You just have think about which one works best for you. I use different ones in different occasions, but the purpose is to help me guide me to make the right decisions. And I hope it does the same to you. If you like these tips, if you feel that they're going to support you in any way, like this video. And if you haven't subscribed, I'm always posting things to help you be more productive, find joy, grow spiritually, and just be the being of light that we're all meant to be. Bye, and see you in the next video. So rewarding, so fulfilling. When, for example, something happens and I'm not sure how to react, or I'm doubting between reacting super aggressive or super mad, or I'm between like, let's just calm down and think about it and not overreact to things. So when I'm in a situation where I feel that I might react in a way that I won't be happy with myself after, I usually ask God, what should I do? Would this way of acting, would that be aligned with God's expectations from me? If I do this, would God be proud of me? If my answer is yes, then I usually go for it. If it's an act of kindness and I'm kind of doubting, like, I don't know, I have so much work to do, but I know this person needs me to help them with this and that, I ask sometimes myself, would God be more proud of me if I continue doing what I'm doing, or if I just get out of my way and help this person? And having that in mind usually guides me to make better decisions. And focusing what is truly valuable, what really support being a good person, what it really supports me bringing light to the world. I truly believe, as I mentioned in other videos, that we're all beings of light and we're meant to enlighten the lives of others around us. We are like a candle that is just giving light to everywhere, giving light to everyone, whatever we are. So that's why it's so important, because sometimes we lose the sense of how much we can bring to someone's life, how much we can do for someone else. And we just get caught up on what we should do, thinking about what society expects us to do, and we forget that we should only ask God and we should be guided by Him. And He usually guides us. When we ask ourselves if He will be proud of us or not, it's a great way to just it grounded and do the right thing? Would this be aligned with God's purpose? Would this be aligned with what He expects me from me to do? And that is a great way for me to really make the right decisions, especially in moments that I feel that I could go the other way and not being. So that's why it's so important, because sometimes we lose the sense of how much we can bring to someone's life, how much we can do for someone else. Or if you're, for example, are between reading a new book or binge watching a series that you've already seen, reading a new book or binge watching a series that you've seen many, many times. How is this going to nourish my life, my mind, my brain? What is it going to be more productive for me to do? Read this book or binge watch one of my favorite series. Same with